Liberating Your Talent, Gifts, and Divine Purpose by Shingirai Gundu. Dedication. This book is dedicated to you, the reader. May you enjoy reading this book, and may it transform your life. God bless you. I also dedicate this book to my husband, Chris. You never got tired of assisting me to edit the book, making recommendations and proofreading it despite your busy schedule. To Chris Tatenda, my son, for always cheering me on and encouraging me. Thanks a mil. To my son, Mutawa, thank you for giving me ideas and for just loving what I do. To Kudzi, my daughter, thank you for lessening the pressure in order for me to make time to write. You are a star. Mikila, my granddaughter, thank you for all the humor that kept me going. Acknowledgement. I would like to acknowledge my manager and nephew, Dumizani Gazi, for his encouragement. Without his inspiration, I would not have written this book. Thanks, son, for believing in me. You really rock. I will forever be grateful for your emotional and mental support. You made writing my second book easier than the first one. You supported me regardless of the fact that you were busy nursing your first child, Konya Gazi, who arrived in October 2021. May God the Almighty continue to bless you financially, spiritually, and in health. Contents of this book. Endorsements. Preamble. Chapter 1, Liberating Your Talent and God-Given Purpose. Chapter 2, Spiritual Gifts and Talents. Chapter 3, Talent Development. Chapter 4, Keep Perfecting Your Talent. Chapter 5, Overcoming Self-Limiting Beliefs. Chapter 6, Do Not Procrastinate. Chapter 7, Find a Coach or a Mentor. Chapter 8, Age is Not a Limiting Factor. Chapter 9, Beware of What is Holding You Back. Chapter 10, Be Deliberate About Living a Healthy Life. Appendix. Endorsements. Before reading a book from any author, it is important to examine the credentials of the author. If I were to write a book about football, it would not be worth going beyond the first page. Some successful implementation in the field should precede teaching. Shingirai Gundu scores at the top in this respect. She brings the equivalent of an A-lister to the field of business management. I know this because I have known her for over 37 years and have had a front seat role, watching her manage her main business, Flair, and other businesses. Not only has she been able to navigate an extremely complex and difficult economic environment, but she has also treated her customers, suppliers, and staff with integrity and respect, building relationships that have lasted decades and often met and even exceeded people's expectations. She has done this by consistently applying the principles in this book. I believe deeply in the teachings in this book, and my only wish is that you, the reader, gain some insights that not only make you more successful, but a better human being. I believe Shingi is one of those special human beings that made me understand what Nelson Henderson refers to when he says, the true meaning of life is to plant trees, under whose shade you do not expect to sit. Shingi lives by this motto, and we are all richer, healthier, and happier because of this. Dumikazi, accomplishment of purpose does not happen by chance. It is an outcome of pursuing essential guiding principles that take you from where you are to where you want to be. In this book, Shingi demonstrates her God-given purpose, which is loving, empowering, equipping, and transforming people to live their God-given purpose. Shingi has outlined important fundamental principles for anyone, no matter what age, to help find purpose, build confidence, and positive self-esteem in order to live a meaningful and fulfilled life. It made me question myself, am I living my God-given purpose and being the best for others? The book is thought-provoking and full of wisdom. The process of a flower blossoming can be long and colorless. When it has fully blossomed, it shows off its full potential for people's enjoyment and benefit. Grace Chiandiza, author, singer-songwriter. I found the book easy to read and logically laid out. It is an inspirational exhortation to pursue one's purpose. The exemples, including the author's experiences, make it practical, relevant, and accessible. The book gives solid encouragement that it's not only enough to know one's purpose, but one must take positive, disciplined steps to attain purpose. The book is applicable across all age groups. Well recommended. Gift Sit Whole. Preamble. We all have the ability. The difference is how we use it. Stevie Wonder. God has given each one of us a gift and a purpose, and these differ according to the grace given to us. Each one of us is to exercise these gifts accordingly if we are to be successful in life. It is a very exciting feeling to discover your purpose and to walk in it. Some people don't believe that they have any gift or talent. They think that they were left out when God was giving others gifts. This is, however, not true. No one was made to sit on the sidelines. We all have a purpose and a destiny to fulfill. The Almighty has entrusted all of us with different gifts and talents to fulfill our purpose here on earth. Therefore, remember that God has put in you the ability, creativity, and ideas you require to accomplish what He has purposed you to do. There is something He has put in you that is unique and that only you can accomplish. Do not worry when you are overlooked by people or you are regarded as useless. Know and believe who you are and endeavor to actively pursue that which your God has put in you. He wants you to do great exploits. He wants to use you for the edification of His kingdom, for the benefit of others. So do not be complacent. Get very excited and pursue your gift and your talent. Forget what naysayers say about you. Forget what others in your family have achieved or not achieved. Forget about whether you did well in school or not. Just remember that you have to be bold enough to follow your God-given purpose and fulfill the destiny that He has prepared for you. Discovering one's gift or God-given purpose is a daunting task for several people. I have been asked by a lot of people these questions: how do I know my gift? How do I know God's purpose for my life? If I discover it, then what? Where do I start? Who can help me in this regard? These are the questions that this book seeks to address. I hope that those who are struggling with the same questions will find this book helpful in discovering and liberating their gifts. Chapter 1: Liberating Your Talent and God-Given Purpose. When I stand before God at the end of my life, I would hope that I would not have a single bit of talent left, and I could say, I used everything you gave me. Irma Bomek. God has equipped every one of us with treasures that He has put inside of us. These are directly linked or tied to our purpose. One needs to draw out the treasure and stir up these gifts, otherwise they will lie dormant and unused. A person without a purpose lives a very dangerous life. They don't have a reason to get up in the morning because they cannot plan to do anything. One ends up living a life full of frustration and unfulfilled, aimless, hopeless, and falling head-on into the trap of the enemy. When one knows their gift, they live a purposeful life, and even though they might experience frustration and hopelessness, it is a temporary experience, as their sense of purpose will help to put them back on track. It is important to have a sense of purpose because this keeps you motivated. You may, however, have a sense of purpose but without having details as to how to go about liberating or manifesting your gift to live a fulfilling life. This sense of purpose is the right lead towards manifesting your gift. It helps you to manage situations when you become fearful, hopeless, or when you face failure or daunting challenges. More often than not, people who have no purpose in life live recklessly. These are people who live their lives intoxicated with drugs, alcohol, or cocaine. Others spend their time watching pornography, frivolous movies, or just aimlessly following or accompanying those with a purpose. For example, if you have a mission to deliver goods to a client and you say to a person without a purpose, please accompany me to the shops, they will gladly do that, or if you ask them to accompany you to visit your parents in the rural areas, they will do so gladly. Why? Because they do not have a plan or purpose for their own lives. Accompanying you is their way of killing time, as it were. In some instances, some people end up taking their own lives because life is meaningless, unfulfilling, frustrating, and an empty shell. When you discover your gift and your purpose in life, you will enjoy peace of mind, fulfillment, and excitement about what you do. A love of people and the desire to do something for others will keep you motivated and excited. The best way to do this is to get started. Find out what God created you to become. Ask yourself why you haven't become what God created you to become. Ask yourself how liberating your gift and having a purpose for your life can change your life for the better. Ask yourself how far you are willing to go to manifest your gift and the benefits to you and your family and the community at large. We are not all born with a silver spoon in our mouths. Some people have to work harder than others to get to a certain level. No one is born knowing where their life will take them. We can learn from others and we can be transformed if we make an effort to find the way towards living a God-given purpose. The difference between talent and strength. Genius is the gold in the mine, talent is the miner that works and brings it out. Marguerite Blessington. Talent. A talent is something that you are naturally gifted at. It is something that comes to you naturally and easily. It is also something you enjoy doing, such that you can even do it for free. When you are doing it, you feel energized, invigorated, and excited. It brings out the best in you. It brings you so much joy that there will be a glow in your eyes. From this, we can say that talent is a special ability that allows someone to do something well. It is a natural ability or aptitude or inner quality that comes effortlessly. If you don't have a compelling purpose and mission in your life, you are bound to live in frustration and emptiness. Your life can become lethargic, unfocused, and draining. You will tend to react to situations, people, and circumstances rather than being proactive. This is especially true of people with low self-esteem. They do not see themselves being or becoming anything in life. They are full of negativity and self-limiting thoughts such as, I can't do it, I am not worthy, I must be perfect, I am not as good as so-and-so, no one loves me, or people don't support me, etc. This is the nature of a person who has not discovered their talent or God-given purpose. Without this discovery, you are highly likely to head nowhere. Most people believe that talents are for celebrities such as entertainers, the likes of Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, Mr. Bean, Jim Carrey, and Oprah Winfrey. Yes, these are talented in those areas, but that is not all there is to talent. I, for example, grew up not knowing what I would become in life. I wasn't good at a lot of things like sport, public speaking, or socializing. I would say I never really believed I would amount to anything. This self-limiting thought resulted in me trying out several careers such as teaching, nursing, banking, Hansard reporting, secretarial studies until I discovered my purpose when I ventured into human resources management. My talent was always there. I loved people. I was always going out of my way to help others, to compliment and encourage, and to give my time for others to share what I had. It just dawned on me one day that I had a God-given purpose to serve and transform lives. I started putting this into practice and I have never looked back. I love people, exhorting them and transforming lives, and I love to give my time to people and to assist in every way I can. The challenge with most people is that they limit themselves and, as a result, are unable to manifest those talents. When you say, "I am only an O-level student, I am just an employee, I am just a housewife, I am just a clerk," you are limiting yourself and closing doors to liberate your talent. Having a talent is not about being able to play the guitar, play soccer like Messi, sing like Madonna, act like Jim Carrey, or run like Usain Bolt, who is considered to be the greatest sprinter of all time. It is important to have a positive self-image, and this is the beginning to know your purpose. You can be a loving person capable to put a smile on people's faces. That is a gift and a purpose. You can be able to compliment others and make them feel good about themselves, or you have that smile that says you are loved. All this should not be taken lightly. The world needs all these talents and gifts in us, especially during the times of the COVID-19 pandemic that we live in. So many people are hurting the world over, and they are not looking for entertainers right now but for comforters, encouragers, carers, uplifting people with empathy and compassion. These are great gifts that make the world a better place to live in. Examine yourself today and take the time to bring out these gifts for encouraging and putting a smile on people's faces. They matter very much. Strengths. A hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure despite overwhelming obstacles. Christopher Reese. Strengths can be described as inbuilt personal capacities that enable us to carry out certain tasks or actions well and seeming glide with ease. They can include the application of knowledge, skills, proficiencies, and talents. We use our traits and abilities to achieve set goals. These strengths are not inherent in us, but they are learnt. We get better at our strengths by practicing. As you get experienced in carrying out a task, you get better at it. Some strengths have to be learned if you believe they will help you to achieve better results. A few examples of strengths include inter alia, enthusiasm. Enthusiasm can help you find the new doors, but it takes passion to open them. If you have a strong purpose in life, you don't have to be pushed. Your passion will drive you there. Roy T. Bennett. Enthusiasm can be described as an eagerness to be involved in a certain activity that you love or enjoy doing. As we can see, if you are talented in a certain area, you will have great enthusiasm in that area. You get excited and eager to put all your efforts towards the manifestation of your gift or talent. Self-discipline. With self-discipline, almost anything is possible. Theodore Roosevelt. An orderly person knows that they have to meet certain set timelines. They have to do their work efficiently and within the confines of set rules and regulations. A self-disciplined person will utilize this strength to improve their talent and purpose or gift. Patience. How many a man has thrown up his hands at a time when a little more patience would have achieved success? Elbert Hubbard. Someone who is patient can tolerate challenges, delays, or suffering without becoming irritated, annoyed, or angry. They say patience is a virtue. When you can wait for something without getting angry or frustrated, it is a useful skill that enhances a good aspect of your personality. You gain the respect of those around you. Ultimately, patience is worth your while, more of 10 than not. Determination. I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed, and the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I fail and keep trying. Tom Hopkins. Determination can be said to be one's willpower to ensure that one accomplishes what one has set out to do. They start something and are intentional in ensuring that the task is completed. A determined person will keep doing something until they get the desired results. One perseveres to accomplish a goal regardless of how difficult it is or what challenges they face. Determination is a crucial ingredient in talent development. Without determination, one can liberate their task but lack the determination to put it to work. Dedication. The price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and the determination that whether we win or lose, we have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand. Vince Lombardi. A dedicated individual has a set goal and they are willing to put their all to ensure that they produce quality work. They will invest their time, effort, and skill to ensure they do what they do well. Chapter 2, Spiritual Gifts and Talent. When you engage in a work that taps your talent and fuels your passion, that rises out of a great need in the world that you feel drawn by conscience to meet, therein lies your voice, your calling, your soul's code. Stephen Covey. There are two kinds of talent, man-made talent and God-given talent. With man-made talent, you have to work very hard. With God-given talent, you just touch it up once in a while. Pearl Bailey. When we talk about gifts, some people have a tendency to get these mixed up with talents. The Bible also discusses the subject of spiritual gifts. These are gifts that are given by God to His people mainly for the edification of the Church of Jesus Christ. These are given by God as He pleases, and they include gifts in administration, evangelism, exhortation, giving, healing, helping, teaching, and prophecy. These gifts are itemized in Romans 12 verses 6-8. Having then gifted differing according to the grace that is given to us, let us prophesy in proportion to our faith, or ministry. Let us use it in our ministering. He who teaches, in teaching. He who exhorts, in exhortation. He who gives, with liberality. He who leads, with diligence. He who shows mercy, with cheerfulness. 1 Corinthians 12 also talks about spiritual gifts, and says that there are diversities of gifts and differences of ministries but the same Lord. To another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another different kind of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues. 11. But the same Spirit works all these things, distributing to each one individually as He wills. These gifts are given to each one as the Spirit wills. Therefore, can one say I do not have any gifts or any God-given purpose? My answer would be an emphatic no. We all have been given gifts and a purpose here on earth. What then is the problem? The problem is that some people believe that gifts are for a chosen few, and these people will go to church and be spectators without lifting a finger. This is ignorance. We all should have that desire to find out and liberate our gifts, and use them for the benefit of others as the Spirit intends. A person can have one or more spiritual gifts. I, for example, have discovered that God has blessed me with the gifts of exhortation, teaching, giving, and healing. When I look at these gifts, I understand why I am in the profession that I am in. I love people so much that I am at my best when I am exhorting, teaching, giving, or praying for healing. In my life, I have seen that God's purpose for my life has been intertwined with my profession, and this has worked very well for me. My gift for giving is so profound that I do not feel good if I go for a while without giving. I actively look for needs and fulfill them. Giving is not just about giving money or materialistic things, it is also about giving your time to visit the sick, a needy relative or friend, giving someone a lift to church or to work, and giving anything that you believe will benefit the other person. Exhortation is another gift that is linked to what I do as an HR practitioner and coach. I believe in the brilliance of others and I make it an effort to exhort others. This motivates them and makes them feel good about themselves. I have discovered that when one says, I need a relationship coach or a fitness coach, what they are in effect saying is that they need someone to help them become better versions of themselves. We all want to be better in what we do regardless of how successful we are. The exhortation also gives hope to others. My friends always say that one cannot spend a few hours with me and not be transformed in one way or another. That is me using the gift that God put in me. I like to make people feel good about themselves. I will say things like, you are a great person, you can do this, I believe you can even do this better than me, you have what it takes, just go for it, you will succeed. These words have seen a lot of people in my circles coming out of their cocoons of feelings of failure, defeat, and unworthiness to become great people who are living their dreams and enjoying life. The gift of healing is another God-given gift that I have. I pray for the sick and they get healed. I pray for my family and myself, and I have always been surprised how this gift is manifested without me putting too much effort at all. I remember some years ago, I went to my gynecologist for a tubal ligation procedure. The specialist noticed a large cyst in my fallopian tube. He then advised me that as soon as the procedure had healed, I needed to go back for an operation to remove the cyst. I told him not to worry. When I come back next time, you won't see the cyst, it will be gone, I said. He laughed and just said he would see me when I returned for the surgery. Guess what? When I returned for my checkup, he could not find the cyst. He was shocked and said to me, Mrs. Gundu, where is the cyst? And I asked him, what cyst? He could not believe his eyes. The cyst was gone. I had prayed for my healing and God healed me. I have prayed for a lot of people for healing and they have been healed. This is an amazing gift. God gives us these gifts, but sometimes we do not even realize we have them. It is important to be deliberate about liberating and manifesting these gifts. When you do this, you find real joy in making a difference in your life, and that God gives us these spiritual gifts as He pleases. When one has found out what their gifts are, they need to use them to the benefit of others. I believe that as God's children, we all have gifts. All we need is to be deliberate about liberating and manifesting them. The challenge is assuming that others have the gifts and not making an effort to discover our gifts. Gifts and life purpose can be directly linked to your passion. To be able to manifest them, you need to do a lot of reflection, thinking and assessing your habits. Be able to answer some of these questions. What do I like doing? What do I enjoy doing? What am I passionate about? Passion is what drives you. It is what motivates you to get up every morning. Once you have obtained answers to these questions, you may want to look at what it is that you are doing now. Are you in a career or ministry that you are passionate about? Are you happy doing what you are doing? If not, can you do something about it? For example, if you are a nurse and you are convinced that your passion is in human resources, what does it take for you to shift careers? Do you need to start studies for that career that you are passionate about? Or can you find work in your desired area so that you at least spend time doing what you enjoy? Gift discovery can be a daunting task as well. In some cases, one might need to engage a coach to assist them in this regard. A coach usually creates a safe space for you where you are vulnerable and can air all your concerns, worries, doubts, and fears. Once you have done this, it is up to the coach to assist you in overcoming these fears for you to realize or discover your actual calling. The coach also is a noise reducer and will be able to move you from the noisy area, as it were, to an area where you can hear yourself speak. A noisy area is a place where one hears numerous voices that discourage one to move forward. Such voices are in your head and they will be saying to you, "This is too difficult," or "You are too old to do this, you do not have the qualifications to do this, you are not confident to achieve that," or "No one in your family has ever amounted to anything, what makes you think you can do this?" Some churches have pastors or staff that can assist members to discover their God-given gifts, and if you have such pastors, it is a good idea to also seek their guidance. So, what is the difference between a talent and a gift? As alluded to earlier on, gifts are used for God's purpose and can be correlated to talents. Skill and talent can drive an individual to success and fulfill a mandate in life. A skill needs instruction, time, training, and practice to learn. Talent, on the other hand, can be developed into a skill as a demonstrated talent. In 1 Peter 4:10, we are called upon to use our gifts to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace. Just as with spiritual gifts, God wants us to use our talents and skills for the benefit of others. Talents can come through the genes of natural inheritance, whilst gifts directly come from the Lord. Talents are natural whereas gifts are supernatural. Some examples of talents include creating music, acting in movies, writing books, playing a guitar, singing, networking, and even public speaking. Talent can also be said to be a special ability to do something, or an endowment unique to a person. Identifying and liberating your talent. Talents can be identified in some of the following ways. 1. Going through life assessments tests or personality tests that guide you. Some of these are the Myers-Briggs personality tests that help you find out who you are. These can be found on the internet. 2. Reflection on what you love to spend most of your time doing. When you know what you spend most of your time doing, you are closer to finding out your gift or talent. For example, if one spends most of their time playing with children and enjoying it, their gift may be in entertaining children. They might also be successful in opening a creche or daycare for children. If they are into writing, they would do well in writing children's books or stories. 3. Asking your colleagues and family what they think your strengths and weaknesses are. Sometimes we need to hear from others so that we know who we are. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable and open to criticism and advice, you are on your way to finding out more about what makes you tick. Friends and colleagues will tell you as it is if you are willing to listen. 4. What do you spend most of your finances on? Finding out what you spend most of your money on will give you an idea of your talents. For example, if you spend most of your money buying golf carts, golf bags, and various sportswear, it may be an indication that you love the sport. The way to move forward would be then to find out what sport you are good at and what sport you enjoy the most. 5. Find out what it is that energizes you most. Finding out what energizes you most helps to identify your talent. Do you get excited when a friend asks you to go to the zoo to see animals? Do you get so excited that you wake up even 2 hours early because you love animals? This could be a sign you are into animals. If you love them, the idea of going to see animals energizes you. 6. What do you enjoy doing for others even for free? Do you love helping others with their challenges, with computers, for example? Do you offer your friends free services to fix their computers because you love doing it? This can be a sign you are a talented ICT person. You might then need to consider ways of making this a profession or business. 7. What would make you happy if you were able to change your life? This question helps to retrospect and introspect about what makes you happy. You could be working full-time in an organization, but might realize that you would be happier being an employer running your own business in an area where you enjoy. I realized when I was employed at Turnall Fiber Center in Human Resources that the time had come for me to call it quits. I followed my intuition and started my Compay Flair Employment Agency. This is a decision that I have never regretted. 8. Who is your role model? Identifying your role model also gives you an idea of what your talent is. For example, is there a musician that you imitate, their dance moves, their voice and style, the way they dress, etc.? This could be a sign that you are into music or dancing. You may then want to further develop yourself in that direction, and you are highly likely to succeed with practice and perseverance. 9. Another way is self-reflection. Carrying out a personal SWOC analysis: S strengths, W weaknesses, O opportunities. C challenges: deliberately looking into your habits, your attitude towards life generally, and also getting feedback from others on what they believe your strengths and challenges are and what they believe your talent or talents are. This takes willpower and effort. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but the analysis leads can help you to get on track to finding out your talent. Talent identification: this requires that one discovers their talent, work on the skills to develop it until it's polished, and then applies it. Continuous development is a must. We can only get better through practice. If you are a talented singer, for example, and you only sing once in a while when maybe you are invited to an event, your talent will very likely be wasted. It's easy to lose a talent through lack of practice. Performers such as actors, singers, and sportspeople go through rigorous training to perfect their talents. We need to do the same once we have discovered the talent. Talent identification or liberation is thus a deliberate effort that one makes to find out what their talent is and then make an effort to work on it and develop it. Chapter 3. Talent Development. Comparison is a waste of energy. Every individual is unique with unique talents. Find your passion and live your best life. Layla Gift Akita. Once one has discovered and liberated their talent, they need to continuously develop it so that it becomes a strength. Discovering it and doing nothing about it will not help you in any way. An example is that if you discover that your talent is in playing the guitar, you would need to buy a good guitar, find someone who will offer lessons and assist you to hone the skill. You may even want to register with a music college to get professional training in playing the guitar. Once you are confident, decide what you want to do with the talent. Are you going to entertain people in the streets? Are you going to play the guitar in church? Are you going to become a professional guitar player? Are you going to team up with others or go solo? Are you going to earn a living from playing the guitar? Once you know what you want, it's easier to develop yourself further and grow the talent. If, for example, your talent is in teaching, you ask yourself questions such as, what do I enjoy in teaching? Is it teaching school children? Is it teaching Sunday school? Is it teaching at universities? What subject matter interests me? How can I improve myself in this area? Do I want to earn a living from teaching? What other areas of business are connected to teaching? You then grow in that area and keep developing yourself as times dictate. For example, if you are teaching, coaching, or training, you will also need to be very computer savvy. In the COVID-19 environment, how are you going to train, teach, or coach your clients? If it's virtual, what is it that you need to learn? Will you need to teach or coach online? We all have talent, but not everyone uses it. We all have the ability. The difference is how we use it. Stevie Wonder. Once we have liberated our talents, we need to put them to use. Failure to do that, you will lose the talent. It is like playing golf. If you decide to play golf and you want to get better at it, you need to play more of it. If you start at handicap 36 and you play once a year, you will likely stay at that handicap. For you to be able to enjoy the game, you need to play and practice more, improve your handicap, improve your drives, improve your chipping and putting. As you get better, you begin to enjoy your game. You get motivated to go and play every week because you can see some improvement. I believe most people who do not know their talents or who do not use their talents become depressed. They do not see the purpose of living. They do not enjoy life and there is no meaning to their existence. These people end up depressed, hopeless, and suicidal. Putting your talent to use energizes you. You have something to wake up for every day. If this energy is channeled towards helping others, it even energizes you more. I love people and my talents are centered on people, giving, recruitment and selection, training and development and coaching. I love helping people. It gives me the greatest joy. I am here to serve and I love it. Transforming lives and putting a smile on someone's face gives me so much joy, it's exhilarating. You will enjoy life and you will make an impact on lives. That is an awesome feeling. Talent is never static. It's always growing or dying. Stephen King. There is some confusion on the difference between one's profession and one's talent. When we are young and attending school, we are usually very sure of what we want to become when we finish school. Many schools offer career guidance programs to students and prepare their students to be able to identify which profession will be suitable for them concerning the subjects that they are studying. For example, those doing sciences will usually end up as chemists, doctors, scientists, etc., while those doing arts end up as teachers, human resources experts, lawyers, journalists, etc. These are not to be confused with talents. These are what we refer to as professions. When we leave school, we often are sure of what profession we are going to pursue. When we, however, choose our profession based on merely our education and qualification, we tend to neglect our interests and passions, and this way our talents are forgotten or neglected. We should, however, not forget what energizes us, what makes us glow, what makes us excited, and what makes us alive. This is our talent. Someone may say, I don't have any talent. That is not true. We all have talent. Everyone is born with the potential to do great exploits, to excel and to shine in a certain area, to be extraordinary. But, unfortunately, sometimes we settle for the ordinary. George Lucas says, everybody has talent, it's just a matter of moving around until you've discovered what it is. That is so true. We usually think that trying to find out our talent involves too much thinking and research, and then we do not do it. Comparison is a waste of energy. Every individual is unique with unique talents. Find your passion and live your best life. Leila Gifty Akita. We should therefore realize that we all have talent and we need to know what the talent is for us to be able to use it. We are not in a position in which we have nothing to work with. We already have capacities, talents, direction, missions, callings. Abraham H. Maslow. Some people shun their talents as they believe these are too insignificant to be considered as talents. No talent is too small. A talent is just that, a talent. Let us look at some talented actors like Jim Carrey or Mr. Bean. When you look at what has made them great, it seems like something very small. Both of them are comedians and the humor in them comes from the talent they have in the way they walk, make stupid-like facial expressions. This might have seemed to them as something small until they put it to the test. These two have made millions of dollars and are regarded as some of the best comedians the world has ever seen. It is not about having a big talent like being famous singers in the mold of Michael Jackson, Madonna, or talented sportspeople. What you might consider a small talent might thrust you forward in a certain area of your life and change lives. It is thus important that when we have liberated our talents we begin to put them to use. If we do not use them, we are bound to lose them. Some people have completed their university education and obtained PhDs and other qualifications but do not still know their purpose. They do not know what they want to do in this world. If you are in this category, you better start finding out now. This will help you live a purposeful and exciting life. Ask yourself the question, who am I? What is my purpose on this earth? If you have no answers to these questions, you won't know what your talent is. A talent that is not being put to use is useless. It is no good to you and others. When you identify your talent, your calling, or your God-given purpose or gift, you have to put it immediately to use. Some people will wait for the right time or opportunity. The time is now. Use it again and again until it becomes part of you. Use it until it becomes automatic and you will experience joy and fulfillment in your life as you have never done before. If you have a talent, use it in every way possible. Chapter 4. Keep perfecting your talent. With no other privilege than that of sympathy, I would address an affectionate exhortation to the youthful literati, grounded on my experience. It will be but short, for the beginning, middle, and end converge to one charge: never pursue literature as a trade. Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Once you have liberated your talent, you need to keep on improving on it. Failure to do that will lead to you losing that talent. Do not become complacent once you know what your talent is. You must keep asking questions and answering them. These are questions like, am I intentionally developing my talent? Am I passionate about it? How can I continue to perfect my talent? How is my talent benefiting me and others? Answering these questions will help us to improve. We also improve by taking action. If you have identified your talent and you do nothing about it, it is useless to you and others. Action is very important. Discover how to put it into action. When I discovered what my talents were, I did not waste time putting them into action. As I mentioned earlier on, my talents are quite a few but are related, and these are human resources management, teaching and training, coaching, exhortation, giving. This is how I put my talents to work for me and others. Human resources management. This is a gift and a profession. I love people and love working with people's issues. These include assisting organizations with the placement of staff. I love doing this and I do it very well. I will encourage job seekers that are discouraged because they have not gotten jobs as soon as they hoped. I even assist a lot of job seekers with tasks like how to write their curriculum vitae, how to prepare for interviews, etc. Training and coaching. This is a talent that I also have and have developed over the years. When I had been operating my employment agency for 5 years, I decided that I could offer training services to my clients as well. To do this, I had to ask a friend who was a CSUN trainer to help me develop this talent. I knew it was in me and I love to train. I had to learn to do it properly, and over the years I have developed to become an HR trainer in several areas. With time I discovered my love for training and I introduced this as part of the core business. I am at my best when training and coaching. I love coaching to the extent that even at times when I don't have to pay clients, I will offer my services for free to special clients like those who need coaching but cannot afford it. Those who have a passion for it and don't know how to start, etc. Training and coaching occupy the majority of my working time now. Exhortation. This is a gift that I have of uplifting and encouraging others. You cannot stay with me for a few hours and remain the same. I am gifted at encouraging and inspiring others to achieve their goals or to grow in whatever area of their lives they are working on. When I started my employment agency business, I discovered that I had this talent of exhorting others. Most of my friends would say, "You can't spend 30 minutes with Shingi and stay the same." I love encouraging and uplifting others. I would even go out of my way to help others to start businesses. Most of those who spend a lot of time with me usually never remain the same. Giving. I discovered this gift of giving at an early age. As a child, I wanted to give. I would give clothes to the needy, I would give time to help others, and I would give even my food to my siblings if the food was not enough. As I grew up, I became a great giver, giving money to the needy, giving my time to help others with chores, and giving to less fortunate family members. I looked after my siblings financially and would not hesitate to help even strangers. I remember one of my friends saying to me, "Shingi, you give sacrificially." I indeed do. That's a gift from God. I assist by giving where I see a need. I do this wholeheartedly, sacrificially, and with joy. Coaching. In 2016, I started to venture into coaching and became a certified life coach in 2017. I have continued to develop this talent and I am now a certified master coach. This happened through deliberate efforts I made to develop my coaching skills. I have a passion for serving, inspiring, and transforming lives. This is what energizes me. It all began when I discovered my teaching gift and talent. I believe that talents and gifts need to be developed and perfected, otherwise we will not be able to utilize them fully. Another way of perfecting them is through self-development. Find out ways to keep learning and improving in those areas you are talented in. Talents need not only be put to use but nurtured, developed, and perfected. Chapter 5. Overcoming Self-Limiting Beliefs. You begin to fly when you let go of self-limiting beliefs and allow your mind and aspirations to rise to greater heights. Brian Tracy. Self-limiting thoughts prevent you from becoming what you desire to be in life. Most of the great people we know spent time thinking about how they could accomplish their dreams and eventually they managed to do so. If, however, you have self-limiting thoughts like, "I will never amount to anything," you sure will not amount to anything. Self-limiting thoughts are exactly what they are, limiting. You cannot rise above what you think or say repeatedly about yourself. If you say you can't, then you can't. If you say you can, then you can. A very good example of one person who did not let his situation allow him to entertain self-limiting thoughts was Glenn Cunningham. Glenn Cunningham suffered burns at an early age of about 8, and the doctors gave him up as a hopeless case, saying he would not be able to walk again. They forgot that they could only see his burnt skinny legs but not his heart. He kept thinking that very soon he would not just be walking but sprinting. He would look at his scarred skinny legs and tell himself that in the next week he would be walking. His mother would watch him through the window and see him holding onto an old plow and would make his garnered and twisted legs function. With every step of pain, he came closer to walking. "I always believed that I could walk, and I did. Now I'm going to run faster than anybody has ever run." And he did just that. He became a great miler who, in 1934, set a world record. He was honored as the outstanding athlete of the century at Madison Square Garden. Wow, we truly are what we think. If we are to liberate those talents and manifest those God-given gifts and purpose, we should do away with limiting beliefs that echo in our minds that you can't, you are weak, you are poor, you don't have what it takes, people will make fun of you, you are a nobody, or you will never make that kind of breakthrough. It is meant for a certain type of people. As a man thinketh, so is he. This was noted by one of the wisest kings that ever lived, and his name was King Solomon, a mighty king of his time. What he is saying is that we become what we spend most of our time thinking about. A thief most probably spends his time figuring out where he can steal and how he can do it in such a way that he does not get caught. What you spend your time thinking about is what you become. You cannot spend time thinking about how useless you are, how incompetent you are in a certain skill, how people don't like you, and how you will never amount to anything and become a successful person in life. We certainly become what we think. This can only happen if we are intentional about it. Be driven by the desire to stay positive and fill your thoughts with positive thoughts of what you want to become. You cannot say you will amount to nothing or that you will never make it in a certain area of your life, and the opposite happens. What we fill our thoughts with is what we become. Filling our thoughts with positive thoughts about wanting to discover, develop, and sharpen our God-given purpose will aid in us doing just that. Once you have an idea of what your purpose on this planet is, what energizes you, and what your gift and talents are, keep thinking about it. Ask questions like, how can I make sure? Who can assist me in this regard, and what action can I take to make this happen? Get rid of self-limiting thoughts and tell yourself that whatever you set out to do, you will do it successfully. Self-talk and positive affirmations are also a way of living and entertaining positive thoughts. Tell yourself that, I can do it, I am strong, I have talent and gifts, God created me for a purpose and I am going to accomplish that purposefully, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, I am a victor and an overcomer. Nothing will stop me, I am forging ahead and I am going to become a great person. Try these thoughts and affirmations and I promise you, you will never remain the same again. For success to happen in our lives, we need to believe in ourselves 110% for 25 hours every day. This can come naturally to some and might take years for others. With practice, it can be done. No one should lose hope because we all have something in us that is important for us to liberate so that it can profit us, other people, and the world. We just have to find it and put it to use. There is no talent, gift, or God-given purpose that is too small or insignificant. I'm not interested in your limiting beliefs, I'm interested in what makes you limitless. Brendan Butchard. Age is a self-limiting belief that has been defied by several people that have become prominent because to them age was just a number. Fauja Singh discovered his talent for running marathons at an advanced age in his 80 seconds. After losing his wife and son, he decided to run in marathons, and his first was at the age of 89. He was not limited by age and he pursued his talent and became the first 100-year-old to run in a marathon in 2011. You can imagine the joy this gave him, and I would want to believe that this very rare accomplishment made him live even longer. Ronald Reagan became the President of the United States of America at the age of 69. At that time he was deemed the oldest president to take office at such an advanced age. His record was later to be broken by Donald Trump, who took office as America's president at the age of 70. Age should not limit our desires to liberate our God-given purpose or talents. No matter your age, you can become what God has created you to become. If you believe that you are in the wrong profession, do not give up to manifest your real purpose regardless of what work you are doing now or how old you are. Once you discover what you love doing and what you want to be doing for the rest of your life, it's never too late. Work on it and go for it. You will never regret doing what you love doing and enjoy. Chapter 6. Do not procrastinate. Getting an idea should be like sitting on a pin, it should make you jump up and do something. E.L. Simpson. Once you have identified your talent or gift, it is of paramount importance to swing into action to work on it. Do not procrastinate. Procrastinating will sometimes happen, but it hinders progress and should be dealt with without delay. It happens with most people. It is normal to procrastinate, but it can also be damaging to your progress. Procrastination implies the delaying of action to do something that you know you love to do or have to do. This may be replaced by something that you find easy or pleasant to do. So important activities are postponed to a later date time and time again until you end up not doing the important tasks that you need to do to attain your objectives. An example of procrastination may be that you have discovered that your passion is in playing music. You might be singing here and there, but you have found that you are truly talented in this area. Maybe someone has offered to assist you to develop that talent by giving you a few lessons and or coaching, going to that coach's place 3 times a week. You keep postponing the appointment. Eventually, you end up not going. This is procrastination at its worst, which leads you to never really liberating the talent in you. Most people procrastinate because of reasons that include the desire for perfectionism. Perfectionists never finish what they are hoping to do because they want a perfect job done, they want a perfect time and a perfect environment, etc. For example, not practicing your skill because you want to make sure you can execute it perfectly. Perfectionism is non-existent. No one is perfect. God is the only one who is perfect because He created us and knows our limitations. Sometimes they just don't feel confident enough to use the discovered talent. If you don't take action, you might never have the chance to use your talent or gift. Practice makes perfect. Others will procrastinate because of fear of failure. What if I don't succeed? What if I make a fool of myself? What if this is not a talent that I have and I am just imagining it? We must deal with delay tactics. These also lead to procrastination and eventually total failure. How will you know that you are not good at something if you do not try? I never thought I would be a good trainer. When I engaged a very experienced and seasoned trainer, it made me even more discouraged. I would tell myself, this trainer is too good. Will I ever reach his standard? I was, however, very determined to excel in this area. I then told myself that I was learning from the best and I would be just as good or even better. I started training courses like telephonist skills, customer care for receptionists, work ethic, grooming for receptionists. I grew more and more confident until I could take up leadership training, strategic leadership, supervisors training, grooming and etiquette, management development programs, etc. When I had developed in these areas, an opportunity came for me to train small to medium-sized enterprises in Zimbabwe in strategic management, human resources management, and marketing management. Since then I have never looked back. This experience then encouraged me to become a life coach and subsequently a master coach. If I had procrastinated, I do not think I would be where I am now. I love coaching and training and enjoy it immensely. My advice is, once you have found that passion, that gift, that talent, go a step further and stir it up. It's a treasure that you cannot leave lying dormant. Do not procrastinate. Chapter 7. Find a coach or mentor. Coaching is not therapy. Therapy analyzes and attempts to heal what is perceived to be wrong with you. Coaching uncovers, inspires, liberates, and empowers what is great about you. Christopher Horvath. Oftentimes, we find ourselves at a loss on how to move forward regarding the manifestation or liberation of our talents and purpose. When you are not sure how to proceed, it is advisable to get a coach to assist you in this interesting journey. What is coaching? Coaching can be said to be a relationship in which a professional or trained coach supports the development of a coachee or client who is willing to be helped. The basic requirement of this relationship is trust. The coach should be able to engage the coachee, transforming their mindset, attitude, and behavior, and also empowering them with the tools they need to liberate their talents. The coach strives to develop the full potential of the client. The coach will, however, not prescribe. They help the client to discover themselves, believe in themselves, deal with negativity about their ability to become the best version of themselves. The coaching relationship will entail goal setting, getting feedback from the client, provision of tools for the coachee to use to liberate their talent. The provision of tools eradicates dependence on the coach. There should be growth, development, and change. The coach should be friendly, a good communicator, a good listener, and be able to ask powerful questions. Every human being was created with a purpose and their uniqueness which needs to be liberated. The coach therefore should be someone who believes that every individual is brilliant. When the coach is authentic and vulnerable, sharing their own experiences and shortcomings, the client is encouraged to do the same. Vulnerability is essential as it puts the client in a safe space where they can open up without fear of being judged or ridiculed. They do not prescribe anything but put everything bare and help the client or coachee to determine where they want to go in life. The coach helps the coachee to identify their talents and purpose, how to liberate or manifest them, what action to take towards developing the talents, and how to use them until they are perfected or polished. The coach encourages, inspires, and cheers on the client without telling them what to do. Transformation occurs, which is more lasting than when someone is imposing on them to follow a certain path without them wanting to go that path. A coach is thus a permission giver who says to the client, yes, if you want to go this path, I will help you, I will be there for you. If you want to go this way, it is okay, I will help you get there. A coach is also a noise reducer, as alluded to earlier on. When we are not sure of what we want to achieve in life, use an ally because we hear a lot of conflicting voices that confuse us. As a result, we are not sure what it is we should do. Some of these voices will be saying, you can't do it, it's too difficult, you are not ready, you will fail, this is too much work, you will burn out. These voices will discourage you and you will either procrastinate or just forget about doing anything about liberating your talent. The coach reassures you and assists you to deal with those negative voices so that you can move forward. An example is that you are in a noisy place and you want to make a very important decision. It is very difficult to do that when there is too much noise. What you need to do is get out of the noisy place and go to a quiet place where you can hear yourself think. That is what the coach does. They remove you from a place where there are these discouraging and limiting voices and take you to a place where you can hear yourself think. The coach will help you to ignore the discouraging voices. You then become able to decide on what it is you want to do with your life with the encouragement of the coach. Coaches are not only found in the sporting fraternity. There are different types of coaches ranging from music coaches and life coaches to management and leadership coaches, marriage coaches, and executive coaches. In sport, we have a range of coaches that include basketball coaches, soccer or football coaches, rugby coaches, marathon coaches, swimming coaches, etc. You can find a coach in any area that you want to develop your talent. A coach will ask you what, why, and how questions regarding where you are planning to go in your career and find out exactly where you are right now in terms of achieving your goals, where you want to go, how serious or committed you are to achieve the goals, and what action you are going to take. They help you until you feel you are confident enough. There have been great coaches who have coached clients to do great exploits. Some very popular coaches who are known for great coaching skills include some coaches like Vince Lombardi. He was an American football coach who in the National Football League history achieved more success in less time than other coaches while coaching the Green Bay. He won 5 NFL championships. Some of his famous quotes were "Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. And perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection we can catch excellence." Sir Alexander Chapman Ferguson, a Scottish former football manager and coach for Manchester United Football Club, is regarded as one of the greatest managers of all time, winning more trophies than any other manager during his time. Some of his quotes are, "I've never played for a draw in my life. If I have my health, I can carry on. There will be a point when I do quit, but I have absolutely no idea when that is." This is the mentality of great coaches. They keep on keeping on and they never speak of mediocrity, but of becoming the best and doing the best always. Some great coaches are not in the field of sport. The one that immediately comes to mind is John Maxwell. He is considered the No. 1 New York Times best-selling author, coach, and speaker. To date, he has sold more than 24 million books in 50 languages. His company has trained more than 5 million leaders in 180 countries. John Maxwell is a great coach who has transformed leaders and many people through his writing and coaching programs that he does online. I am not advocating for one to go to these coaches, but my point is that there are great coaches out there. There are coaches in almost every sphere of our lives. Whatever our profession, our talents, and our God-given purpose, we can learn from the best out there. Do not be stuck with your ideas. Find a coach if you are not sure of how to proceed in liberating your talents and your gifts. Coaching has become a multi-billion-dollar industry impacting the world. One can get a good coach in almost anything that you need to do. You just have to look around for the good ones. You can find coaches on websites and various platforms on the internet. A coach is, however, a master of content. A coach knows a lot about many subjects. I, for example, am a life coach, performance coach, leadership coach, business executive coach. All these are interconnected. What I cannot do is coach football or any sport, neither can I coach anyone in musical instruments. A mentor, on the other hand, can be said to be an experienced and trusted advisor who gives advice or trains a younger client. Whereas a coach can coach a leader, an executive, or any client in an environment they have not worked, it is different with a mentor. A mentor is a master of process, as it were. A mentee is someone who wants to go the same route that someone has gone. The mentor will hold your hand and advise you which way to go, which way not to go, and what obstacles you might meet on the way to reach your goals. In mentoring, there is a multiplication of experience. What took the mentor 20 years to accomplish might take the mentee only 5 years to accomplish, because there is no wasting time in trial and error. One can only mentor someone in a profession that is similar to what the mentee is pursuing. For example, with my experience in coaching, I can coach a doctor, an engineer, a finance manager, or an ICT specialist in leadership, soft skills, and even emotional intelligence. I cannot, however, mentor a doctor, an engineer, or a finance manager technically, because I don't have the expertise needed to assist them in that area. A student doctor can only be mentored by a doctor, a student finance person can only be mentored by a finance person, and a junior engineer can only be mentored by an engineer. It is, therefore, important for one to choose their coach or mentor carefully if they are to gain full benefit from the relationship of being mentored or coached. Get someone to hold your hand and inspire, encourage, and transform your life. You cannot do it alone. My job is not to be easy on people. My job is to take these great people we have and to push them and make them even better. Steve Jobs. If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. Isaac Newton. Show me a successful individual and I'll show you someone who had real positive influences in his or her life. I don't care what you do for a living, if you do it well, I'm sure someone was cheering you on or showing the way. A mentor. Denzel Washington. If you believe that you do not have a talent or you do not have a purpose in life, you are very wrong. If you want to move ahead but do not know how to, find a mentor or a coach. The coach will help you to move from your current position to the desired situation. That way you become the best version of yourself. Isn't that what we all want? Chapter 8. Age not a limiting factor. It's not how old you are, it's how you are old. Jules Renard. Getting old is like climbing a mountain, you get a little out of breath, but the view is much better. Ingrid Bergman. Oftentimes, we want a change in our lives, but we find ourselves thinking, I am too old for that. I should have done that when I was young. What will people think if they see me starting to play golf at 60 when all my friends are now professionals? I cannot start jogging at this age, I will embarrass my family. What if I fall and break a bone? What if? I am sure you are familiar with this line of thinking. Do not let your age limit you in any area of your life. If you want to change your lifestyle in any way, just do what you need to do. Never mind what people say. It is your life, and live it the way you know you will benefit and enjoy. We have examples of many people that believed in themselves and went ahead to do great exploits, defying the age limitations. There is nothing as strong as human willpower. Willpower controls our destination. When you have a strong will to achieve something, you will achieve it. Why is that? Because your willpower is so strong that you will spend time thinking about achieving whatever it is you want to achieve. If you spend time thinking that you want to excel in this or that area, you will excel in that area. You cannot spend most of your time planning to rob a bank and then become a country president or a renowned athlete. If you spend your time thinking of becoming a president, you will become one. If you spend your time planning to rob a bank, you might eventually try it out and succeed. What we think will determine how we live our lives and also will determine our character. This is so regardless of your age. Talents can be liberated at a late age. Judi Dench is a late bloomer who became a household name in her 60 seconds. She received 7 Oscars when she was over 60, including the Best Actress in Shakespeare in Love. James Parkinson identified Parkinson's disease at 62. His thorough research and descriptions inspired pathologists to study the disease further. Karl Lagerfeld had a passion for fashion and only made a real breakthrough at the age of 82. He is said to have lost about 41 kilograms at age 68 to wear the high-fashion clothes that he loved so much. What awesome determination! The current Zambian president Hakainde Hichilema had 5 failed campaigns to become president. He could easily have said he was not so young anymore, so he had to stop trying and move on with his life. But he did not give up because of his age. He finally made it at the age of 59. He could have given up due to his age. He kept trying and his mind was filled with thoughts of being Zambia's president, and he made it. He started trying in his 30s. Age should not be a limiting factor in achieving our goals and living our God-given purpose. We need to keep it until we get what we desire. Some presidents who made it after the age of 60 include Donald Trump, who became president at 70, and Joe Biden at 78. So if these guys contested for presidency at these ages, what is stopping you from liberating your talent at a late age? Nothing is impossible. It is also about your attitude, knowing what you are capable of achieving, knowing what you really want, and going for it. Be inspired by these presidents. If you think about becoming someone and you sharpen your skills, your mind, and thoughts along that path, you will become what you think of. Sometimes people use age as a convenient excuse. I'm too old to start something new, or I couldn't learn that at my age. Other people, though, go on to achieve their greatest accomplishments in life in later years. Catherine Pulsifier. Some people are old at 18 and some are young at 90. Time is a concept that humans created. Yoko Ono. Chapter 9. Beware of what's holding you back. The life most of us live is governed by certain norms in society that we believe should guide us to achieve our purpose. We then want to follow a certain well-defined career path that we are familiar with. This could be a career path that your siblings followed, it could be that which your schoolmates are going, or that which you have been told is the safest to follow. People then follow that direction that is familiar, and by doing so subject themselves to conformity rather than to following a path that leads to a purposeful life. By following familiar and safe directions, we end up going the way that is known to avoid failure, mistakes, the disappointment of self and close family or parents. We would rather take the familiar way that is known than venture into the unknown. When we do that, we blindly limit ourselves to finding out who we are and what we are capable of achieving. Just the thought of where to start, when should one start, how to begin, who would help me, what if I fail, and what will people think if this doesn't work, will put us in a state of limbo. We spend a lot of time, days, weeks, and months. Months will turn into years and years into decades while we ponder on what to do. Why do we do that? I believe that the number one reason is that we lack self-belief. What is self-belief? Self-belief, also known as self-efficacy, can be described as one's belief in their ability to complete tasks and to achieve set goals. When you judge yourself to be capable of succeeding, you are increasing your chances of tool success. When you tell yourself you can't, then your chances of succeeding are almost zero. Self-belief makes you see things with crystal clear clarity. You have a clear vision of where you want to go, when you want to go, how you want to do it, and when you want to do it. You are energized to start as soon as you have a clear roadmap. The other reason why we get stuck in the middle of realizing our purpose is that we want to imitate others. We tell ourselves that we want to be like so-and-so. We do not desire to be authentic but to do what others are doing. We become copycats. Purpose achievement is about being truthful to oneself about what we are capable of doing and not comparing ourselves with others and wanting to be like them. Authenticity is genuineness. We all have unique purposes, traits, behaviors, and talents, gifts, and resources. How beautiful it is when we are authentic. An authentic person knows who they are, they know what they believe in, and they know what they are capable of doing and what they are not. They know their strengths and their weaknesses. They also know when to seek help and from who. An authentic person believes in themselves. They have a positive mindset. They believe that they can achieve anything they set out to achieve. If an egg is broken by an outside force, life ends. If an egg is broken by an inside force, then life begins. Amazon.com. This alludes to the fact that all great things begin on the inside. All things begin from self-belief. Sometimes we are held back by naysayers. It is thus very important that when we have made up our minds that we are going to move ahead in living our purpose, we need to surround ourselves with like-minded people. These are people who believe what you believe. You cannot surround yourself with negative people who continuously tell you 100 reasons why you will not succeed in this and that and expect to achieve your goals. Naysayers will tell you it has not been achieved by anyone, so who do you think you are? It is not possible, or just follow the path most people are going. Surround yourself with positive people who want to be successful, who see greatness in you, and who believe in you, inspire you, and encourage you. Associate with great minds who see greatness in others as well as in themselves. You need also to avoid shade slingers or people who throw shade at you. These are people who diss you, make fun of you, and drain you of all energy. They never have anything good to say about you. Flee from them, avoid them at all cost. These are worse than naysayers. Do not befriend shade slingers. Throwing shade is to diss someone without actually saying their name but making it obvious that that's who you are talking about. Urban Dictionary. Finally, link up with people that have made it in life who are your role models. We often believe that successful people are not interested in helping others. It is not always the case. The majority of successful people are those who can help others to be successful. These people usually go out of their way to improve the lives of others and to share the secret of their success. I believe I am that kind of person. Success for me is the ability to achieve my goals, to live a well-balanced life in terms of my family, marriage, health, and spirituality. But most importantly, it is about serving others and being intentional about developing others. I will mentor others, I will give information, I will ensure others are successful, and offer as much help as I can to ensure their success. Success for me is realizing that I have also made other people successful. Below is my acronym for success. S. Set goals. U. Understand your strengths and weaknesses. C. Communicate effectively. C. Care for the less fortunate and those who need help. E. Encourage others to be successful. S. Stay focused. S. Seek God's guidance in your endeavors. I am deliberate about living this success acronym. What does success mean to you? If you are not sure, try coming up with a definition of success and be intentional about achieving that success in your life. Chapter 10. Living a Healthy Life. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. World Health Organization. One must take good care of themselves all round physically, mentally, and emotionally. There are so many benefits to living a healthy life, which includes long life. A healthy mental state has the effect of energizing one to be able to accomplish the purpose and goals that they would have set for themselves. It is common for some people to liberate their talent, discover how they want to live their lives, be successful, but then fail to look after themselves mentally and physically. When this happens, they are usurped of all the energy to use their talents and failure ensue. Others have found their purpose and developed it, got rich from utilizing their talents, but have failed to look after their health, resulting in failure, sickness, or even death. Good mental and physical health is a recipe for success. Mental health entails emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It has an impact on how we think, feel, act, make choices, and relate to others and our environment. It is essential to your overall health and quality of life. The World Health Organization describes mental health as a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her potential, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to contribute to her or his community. Indeed, many gifted and talented people have not been able to cope with using their liberated talents because they neglected the mental and wellness side of their lives. It is of essence that we live a balanced life, especially when we get busy using our talents. It gets harder when you become a celebrity or famous, leading to stressful situations. It is not surprising that some celebrities who are very talented have failed to cope because of the inability to look after their mental and physical health. Some have resorted to alcohol abuse, hard drugs like cocaine, and various other drugs that numb the pain of a stressful lifestyle. We have to be careful that when we get busy, when we become idols, when we become celebrities, when we become heroes and neglect our general health, we may be heading for a breakdown or even loss of life. Several celebrities were highly talented but lost their lives due to some overdose of prescriptive drugs and or addiction of some sort. These highly talented people are always under pressure to perform and work on very tight schedules and programs. They are continuously under pressure to perform. As a result, they resort to drugs to keep up. This results in getting addicted. The world has lost a lot of talent to addiction and drug abuse. There is a strong correlation between mental wellness and success. The busier we get using our talents or our purpose, the more we should realize the need to live a healthy life. If one can, it is beneficial to have a health coach. A health and wellness coach will take care of your wellness and health side of things and will encourage you to stay healthy. Some of the celebrities that were very talented but lost their lives due to addictions, overdose, or alcohol abuse include Inter alia. Diego Maradona, an Argentine who was dubbed one of the best soccer players of all time, died in 2020 after surgery. He is said to have been addicted to alcohol. Academy Award-nominated actor Heath Ledger is said to have died from heroin addiction and subsequent overdose. Famous singer Amy Winehouse is said to have died in 2011 after an alcohol overdose. Whitney Houston, dubbed the most awarded female artist of all time, died in 2010 from cocaine use. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, was in poor health, bedridden, and required nursing care near the end of his life. An autopsy revealed he had prescription medication in his body, including codeine, which was 10 times the prescription level. I am giving these extreme examples to emphasize the need of looking after ourselves when we get to fame or some sort of success. Let us not neglect our health. Unhealthy lifestyles and unwellness may lead to early death. How do I live a healthy, balanced life? I ensure that I balance my life in the areas of family, marriage, health, leisure, spiritual, finances, friends, and career. I rate myself in these areas on a scale of 1-10 every month. And whenever I get to below 7 in any one area, I work hard to get it to at least a 7 out of 10. In monitoring my health, I work on the following. Daily exercise of at least 20 minutes a day. This can include skipping, jogging, or just taking a walk. Benefits of exercise include weight control, improving your mood, it boosts your energy levels, it improves brain function, and it enhances your immunity system. Physical activity helps you to sleep better. It also releases endorphins, which make you feel good and relaxed. It reduces some effects of aging. Exercising can be fun too. Drinking a lot of water, up to 2 liters a day. Eating healthy. Eat fruits, vegetables, more of white meat, avoiding too much starch, and avoiding too much junk food. Taking supplements, having regular medical checkups, laughing a lot. I laugh so much with my sisters to the extent of crying. It's a big stress reliever. Prayer and fasting once a week. It energizes me. Maintaining a positive attitude contributes to a healthy life. The mind is a powerful thing. When you fill it with positive thoughts, the world starts to change. Every day might not be good, but there is something good in every day. Faye Howard. My advice is that one should be intentional and deliberate about living a healthy life. You can start by asking yourself the following questions. Am I getting enough sleep? If not, why? What should I do? Am I eating a balanced diet? Do I have bad habits? If so, how can I deal with them? Do I make sure that I move my body every day? This can be just a 5-minute, 10-minute walk to start with. You can increase the time and intensity of your body movement with more practice. Am I in a pleasant environment? A clean, pleasant environment will have an impact on how you feel about yourself. Am I happy? Don't spend time with negative people who are toxic or who pull you down. Surround yourself with people you love being around. People who believe in your brilliance and who encourage and inspire you. It is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. Mahatma Gandhi. He who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything. Arabian proverb. The end. Appendix A. Talent Liberation Quotes. 1. Every talent God has hidden in you is not for your consumption. They are for other people's liberation. Anonymous. 2. Winning takes talent, to repeat takes character. John Wooden. Genius. 3. Doing easily what others find difficult is talent, doing what is impossible with talent is genius. Henry Frederick Amiel. 4. Talent is like a flower, you have to fully tend to it if you want something beautiful. Marine Le Riquet. 5. We are told that talent creates. Eric Hoffer. 6. Your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift back to God. Leo Buscaglia. 7. Too much ego will kill your talent. Anonymous. 8. Talent without working hard is nothing. Anonymous. 9. Why hide your talent in the closet of complacency when you have greatness within you? Robin Sharma. 10. Genius is the gold in the mine, talent is the miner that works and brings it out. Marguerite Blessing Tun. 11. If you are young and talented, it is like you have wings. Haruki Murakami. 12. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. Arthur Schopenhauer. 13. Discipline is the refining fire by which talent becomes ability. Raul L. Smith. 14. Talent without working hard is nothing. Cristiano Ronaldo. 15. Everyone has talent at 25. The difficulty is to have it at 50. Edgar Degas. 16. I have always admired men and women who used their talent to serve the community and who was highly respected and admired, even though they held no office whatsoever in government or society. Nelson Mandela. 17. As we are liberated from our fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Nelson Mandela. 18. Hide not your talents, they for use were made. What's a sundial in the shade? Benjamin Franklin. 19. We all have the ability, the difference is how we use it. Stevie Wonder.